Hey, here we are again, the Rick and Dave Real Estate Solutions Podcast. Welcome back. I am one of your hosts, Dave Stein. I am a real estate agent, real estate investor, commercial real estate lending broker. I wear many hats, but ultimately here to serve the community of real estate. Joined by me is my co-host, Rick. Rick, tell us about yourself.
I'm Rick Bain. I am also a commercial real estate broker. I'm a Gator in Sub 2. We've been doing this podcast for several weeks now. I am totally enjoying these podcasts that we're doing, Dave. I'm so blessed to have produced these podcasts with you. And today we've got Lidia Hicks. You know what, Lidia? I could go through your intro. I think it's probably best if I just let you do your own introduction. Your resume is so long. Take it away.
I'm just gonna say this. So thank you so much for inviting me to be here with you guys. I've been, your friend Rick for a long time, and I absolutely love to get the chance to meet you as well, Dave. Mm-hmm. Just like you, I'm also a commercial real estate broker, and my background is an engineering and college mathematics instructor. So I love numbers, and most above all, I love people. I love people. I want to help them, and I know with so much information it's out there. People don't really have a path. So I love to teach people the path. Where do you want to go? Let me show you. Let me walk with you, actually, even better. So that's why I'm here, to hopefully inspire some people and bring some light into their financial growth path.
Lidia, you didn't start out like this, right? You just told us you were an engineer, you were a teacher. Where in the world did you take a left turn into real estate?
Robert Kiyosaki's quote, the book, right? And I have a lot of his books here. So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm European, you can notice, right, by my accent. So we don't have these opportunities in Europe. In Europe, we are all about studying, career. That's very, highly esteemed. And very few people do business, and usually they have a lot of money, and they do everything with their money. But I read a book and I thought, okay, how can a teacher can get into this? Is there anything out there that I could learn, I could do? And I had this revelation last year that I need to learn how to invest without using my money. Again, Robert Kiyosaki, he's actually one of my mentors, and I really love him. And I'm also a Gator, by the way. I love playing Smallby, and another 10 at least other mentors. So I wanted to discover, I knew inside of my heart that if I know how I can find the money, I can create a team, people that know how to bring the deal, people that know how to bring the money, and partner up together. Every single deal in real estate and every single business needs funding. That is the fuel of every single business. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wanted to learn. I dedicated my the past 12 to 15 months in learning where the money is. I invested over $85,000 into my career, and I don't regret it. I learned where the money is, so I'm really happy.
Well, Rick's deciding to jump in and out.
I apologize, you guys. Am I as blurry on your screen as I am on mine?
A little
bit blurry.
But that's okay. We know you're there.
We know what you look like. And if you don't, look right to this way. Look over here. Look at this fellow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What a handsome fella. Well, Lidia, let's kind of break this down. We're talking to the masses. We're talking a lot about real estate and commercial real estate and lending. What are the options? You mentioned businesses, or money is the fuel for a business. What are the options for businesses to get funding?
First of all, let me show you, I walk the talk. That's super important to me, okay? So if I get myself out of the way, this right here is a $70,000 machine. It's called STEM Waves. And this machine actually helps people heal themselves, heal their body themselves. And Rick, you know so much about medicine, right? You're a pharmacist. You can put, you have to be careful how much medicine you put in your body, right? So we are always looking for an alternative. I was always had pain since I was a little child. But most importantly is that my husband is a nurse. He is an ER nurse and always wanted to help people. But as you age, your body doesn't really, handle that much, 12-hour shift. So long story short, I thought, okay, how can I find money for my husband? Okay, without getting into my, savings, because
Okay.
I did have the money, but I didn't want to use it. So to me, it's like non-existent, right? I have 4 kids. This is a legacy for them. So long story short, that's what it brought me into this. So I'm so glad that I have my own story. So everybody, most of the business, the new businesses, which by the way, we have 17 million new businesses since COVID. Okay, so 17 million people, what they're doing is they are maxing out their credit cards to get into business. And what's the consequence of that? They will drop their credit score. And what's the consequence of that? They don't qualify for business funding or for loans or whatever they want to do. So we need to stop that and to know that there are companies, there are banks or credit unions that they actually have programs especially designed for new businesses. But I didn't know. To me, it was credit. It was like a Chinese word. I didn't know what that means. I knew what it is, but I didn't know how it works. The same way airplane is something that I know what it is, but do I know how it works? I don't. So how can I use an airplane if I don't know what it is inside? So I took the long road of studying about credit. I thought it was the most boring thing I've ever studied in my life, but actually it's not, because it gives you choices and it teaches you how you can use it in your favor.
Mhm.
Okay. So options, if you want to ask me like more details, like for instance, what options are there? If someone has a solid credit, not just score, but report, profile, let's say it that way. If someone has a well-balanced credit profile, they will be able to get funding because they already earned the trustworthiness of the banks. It's like, hey, I know you handle very well the money that I give you so far. I'm going to give you some more so you can start your own business. And you do not have to ruin your credit or to get in debt. So it's an exchange between credit worthiness, right, and funds to support um, the new business owners.
So, Lydia, did I understand you correctly? When you said you were looking to get fund, you were talking like your business. You were looking for
Yes.
your
Yeah.
business, not personally.
No, not personally. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
My husband had this dream of starting something of his own. So we started talking to the companies, and we found this company that we love, and it was $70,000, and we need to come up with like 20,000 down payment, and we didn't want to use our funds. In order to qualify, we went to all the banks in the area. Every single one of them said no, 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 no. Why? Because you need 2 years business, 2 years tax returns, and logically they don't want to see losses, right? They want to see some gains, and nobody has really gains, nothing left, right? So we really thought that there's no way that isn't going to happen, uh, that nobody's going
Well,
to get. Yeah,
Dave, we talk to new business owners all the time that are new and are looking for funding. You
Mhm.
know, if I'm a new business owner, can I get funding even though I just created my LLC?
absolutely. Yeah, it can be even 1 year old. Trust me, one week old. Okay, 1 day old. So first of all, okay, let's say you are um, a new entrepreneur, you have a brand new LLC, and you want to get funding. You do not have to wait for 2 years. You don't have to have documents. You don't even have to prove income, business income. You do not. All you need is your credit profile. I will tell you how it's supposed to be. And then you need an LLC with the 4 documents, that all LLC have, good standing, operating agreement, all of that, EIN, and make sure you have a general industry, not real estate. If it's real estate there, or if it's um, there are some industries that are very high risk, so you don't want to be in crypto. You don't want to be just general, management,
Sure.
education, um,
as far as the type of business that you've created, you want to keep it very general. Yeah,
So if you say general, and by the way, you don't never know you're gonna do with your business, right? So even
absolutely.
though you do real estate, you really don't do just real estate. You do design, you do management, you do
Consulting.
consulting, a lot of things. Project manager, because you're not doing everything yourself, right? Um, if you lend money, you can again, it's supporting businesses. So let's assume that you have a business and you have the right industry, which is non-high risk. It's very easy. You can Google to see what is not. Now what? Okay, now we need a profile. This profile has to be, as I said before, like a tree full of branches. That tree over there. Yeah, you don't want a little thing. Like my credit, it was very thin when I started. Why? I was a Dave Ramsey girl, and many people are. So I went to the class and I cut all my credit cards up, and I felt so proud of myself. That was 18 years ago. I kept one, but even that one, it was $1,000. I never request increase because I felt that if I don't need the money, and if I do, if I have it, I may be tempted to spend.
Yeah, you should be paying cash. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but there are two kinds of debts. Personal debt, no. The asset debt, yes, right? That's the only way to build true wealth, is through infinite wealth, means using other people's money or other institutions' money. Okay, so you do not want a team profile is going to take some time to build it. You want to have a mortgage, an auto loan, some student loans, some installments, things in the house, and then at least 3 credit cards. And you need ideally 5 years of credit age, if not at least 2. And I'm going to review all of this, right? So first, you need a variety, a mix of different things: installments and revolving. When you open a credit report, you see installment. Those are loans, cars, houses, all of that. Then you have revolving. You want to have at least 3 revolvings, at least one of each, the other ones if possible. You need to have at least 2 years of age. 5 is better. An ideal profile would be 21 accounts, and I've seen those. 21 accounts, 5 years of age, 50,000 at least in credit limit, and then less than 5% utilization. I'm going to take each one by one. Do you want that to analyze? You have it or you don't, okay? For instance, if you don't have a variety of loans, that could be a problem because there's not enough substance to your credit. So what do? Find someone that has it. Find a partner. Everything I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be you. It has to be someone. In exchange of your brilliant mind and ideas, they will partner with you on this. You have what they don't have, and they have what you need. Make sense? So this person that you will bring in, it can be you or a spouse or a partner, they will have to take 90% of your operating agreement at the moment of application. Make sense? So in one LLC, you don't want to stay 50-50. That operating agreement is a document that can be changed in every single deal you have. Okay, it's flexible. It's meant to be changed.
Yeah.
So you change it to a 90-10. You are 10, they are 90. And now their profile or yours or whoever is 90 has to have at least a mortgage and a car loan in good standing. We do not want any negative accounts. If you get one negative account, we work with people that's what they do. They help people optimize their credit.
Lydia, what's a negative account?
Means a late fee. It can be
so late payment.
Yeah, no late payments, no collection. That's going to charge collections, charge accounts, or not paid account. No, unpaid accounts.
Right.
A month, 2 months, or 3 months. Yeah, that's.
Lydia, can I ask? I think a lot of people that are going to be watching this are they're probably in that in that very scenario where maybe their credit isn't perfect, maybe they're in that 550, 600, 650 range,
Yeah.
because they've had some missteps along the way, which is not, I mean, it's not uncommon at all. It's
No.
probably not very intuitive to ask for, hey, could I partner with you? Could you go through some steps and how that can really benefit them by reaching out, and how does that process work with partnering with someone with good credit?
Mhm.
And can you walk through just real
Yeah.
quick on how that works?
Yeah. So, Robert Kiyosaki and Pace Morgan, everybody that has succeeded in real estate, they always talk about a team. You need a team. You need to bring value to the project. And if you want to do everything yourself, you're not gonna go too far. That's gonna be a job, right? So you want to, if you don't have the credit to be ready for funding, what do you have? What can you offer? Can you find deals? Can you negotiate them? Can you manage them? Can you fix? Can you sell? Can you connect?
Mhm.
All the team has all these roles, and you need at least 2, 3 people. And I see my clients, the ones that have the bigger teams, they make the most money and they're more successful. Everybody has a role. Find your place and talk to people and say, hey, I can bring this to the table. You want what I want. We go in the same direction. I can bring this, this, this. You don't even have to mention that, hey, my credit is not ready. While I'm ready, my credit's optimized. Let's use yours and let's start using, start our business instead of waiting. You can have 5, 6 partners if you want, if you need.
Fabulous.
Okay? Good. So this ideal person, and by the way, these banks that we work with, we have personal relationships. Okay, so we are like us right here. We know each other, right? And we bring value to each other. They literally beg us for people that have the right profile. Okay, we don't send our people to apply with the algorithm. You can do that yourself. But what we bring to the people is that relationship. We know the people that actually are in charge of giving this money, and they know that we are going to vet those people very, very well, very carefully. We do not apply. If I wouldn't lend them money, I would not apply. Make sense?
Mhm. Yep.
But I will help them to get there. And by the way, again, experience, right? My credit score last year, and I did good with my credit, but I forgot like 4 years ago to pay uh, my 3 small cards. I got 2 in the meantime, okay? And I had a flood in my account. I got a new card. I moved in my new house. I totally forgot. 6 weeks later, I got this, phone call or something that I'm late and I have a late fee. That was the first time and the only time in my life. Then I maxed my credit cards. My husband maxed his, and here we go, even further down. My credit was 553, and Rick, that we wanted to go into a program and we couldn't because my credit was not good, right?
Mhm.
I was denied for everything. I had no hope, but a lot of dreams. And I thought, something, I'm going to find a solution because it's not just me here. Every time I have a problem, I think about how many other people are in this, I have this problem, and I need to find a solution. I'm a math teacher. I'm finding solutions, right? So I did. My credit is 801 right now. Okay. I
Woo!
love that, but I found the right,
Awesome.
and the right people are this. Don't go and fix the credit with credit repair companies.
Mm.
I pay for 3 years. No offense, but their purpose is to keep you as long as possible so you can pay as much as possible.
Mhm.
I'm the kind of person, listen, I pay you all upfront. Can you get it done? Like, how fast can you get it done? Right? So I found that person. It was recommended by someone else. And now I know several. I'm in the industry now. I know lots of people. And those people that can help are the people who work with funding companies. Because
So,
we don't have time to wait.
so Lydia, you went from 550 to
Three, yeah,
801.
yes.
How long did that take you?
In about 3 months.
Unbelievable.
I did two things. He disputed everything in my account and said, prove it, or whatever, So he disputed it and he got it off in 45 days.
Oh my
Was
gosh.
there anything on was there anything in your account that could anybody do this?
I don't think so. You need to know the law. That's a very good question. So there are different laws about credit, and they're not taught in school. Can you imagine someone so important that it literally dictates what kind of life you have, the quality of your life, where you live, what you drive, how expensive is money, is not taught anywhere. We should know all the laws of the credit. There are different laws, and when the people that dispute, they use different laws. They have to use the right laws. My person literally says, if you do not believe this, we go to court. So he uses all kinds of things. This. He that logical. I don't know exactly. As a, if you want to fix your credit, you could do some kind of level 1 dispute, maybe an inquiry. It's good to know how to take this off. Super important, especially for real estate investors that have always hard pulls on their credit. I think someone could learn that.
So Lidia, you said you and your husband had maxed out your credit cards, which right now with the economic downturn that we're in, a lot of people are in similar situations. Yeah. If your credit card utilization is really high, can you speak to that?
Yes, if it's above 30%, unfortunately we cannot apply. Okay, I do work with a brokerage that has a loan, especially for that, to bring you from 30 to 25, or even to no debt. It's not cheap, but it works. Okay, but let's say we don't use that. Okay, on your own. What we did, we did two things. We know somebody, it's family. I mean, not family, sorry. It's an acquaintance, right? But we know them well. And I said, look, you have money in the bank and your money is losing value. What if we make an agreement here? I show them my husband's tax returns, all of that. And what if I pay 12% a year? She was like, what? How do I do that? It's me, I want to open my business. I need to pay my debts first so I can qualify for the funding. And yada. I gave her all the documents she needed. She was happy, I was happy. 20K, pay all my debts off. Okay.
At a much cheaper percentage than your credit card.
And any credit card. Yeah. And it's a win-win. She's happy, I'm happy.
Yep. Then
we needed a little bit more. And we have our savings are in silver and gold, right? Again, Robert Kiyosaki. And we have a Vault, is a company that we keep our savings with. We can take a loan against our precious metals. It's amazing. You know what? The interest, 0.2% a month.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. The only downside that can happen is because I took, let's say, I put 100 coins, like in a pawn, it's kind of a pawn. So 100 coins, they get removed from my account, goes to the account of the company. And then I have to pay back the 100 coins. If I know how to look at the price and I know it goes up and down, if I catch it, let's say I took $5,000, okay? If the price of these 100 coins gets to 4,000, I buy them at that price, and guess what? I made money on my own loan. Yeah. It's mind-blowing, okay? But if I catch it at 5,500, actually it costs me 500 to get back the money. Mm-hmm. At that point, I can say, no, I'm not gonna return them. I have infinite time to return. I'm not pressed by anything. It's 0.2%. I can keep it for as long as I need. And if I say, listen, I don't think the price is gonna go where I want, just cancel, and they just keep the coins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like a lot of options there.
Yeah, with these two. So asset, if you have investments, if you have a house to put a HELOC, if you have precious metals.
How about 401k?
Oh yeah, you can borrow from there. Absolutely. IULs in whole life insurance. You can lend, you can borrow money from your own bank.
Is that something you also do? Are you into that
Yeah,
infinite banking?
yes, I am. I am. I love. I'm not going to talk about that. It's a whole day.
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
Use that to create your own bank. But if none of these options are available, there is still a hope. If you have a W-2 and the debt to income ratio is not more than 50%, you still can do something. You can borrow money from a soft pull credit union. And I have a list of those. There is a try with no harm, right? You see, if you get approved, logically, you will have to prove what you said that you have. That's a document, right? Income based. They will give you a loan. Usually, it's not high interest. It's a loan, right? It's not a credit card. You take all the money. That will also build your credit. Take all the money, pay all your credit cards off. Wait for about 1 or 2 cycles because it doesn't report when we want. It doesn't report right away. It reports in 30 to 60 days. And that's it. And you pay your loan and build your credit some more.
Man. What's fascinating, Lydia, is just similar to the Gator community, similar to all of these. There's just so many options, and people just don't realize you don't have to be stuck. You don't, just because you made some poor choices or you had some fallen times, like you can still progress forward, and there's options. They just take a little bit of connection and a little bit of work, and you can really change what that profile and that trajectory look like.
Completely. So our credit scores went up. I was able to qualify. I got the machine. My husband's super happy. He's gonna start. His life has changed. $20,000. What can do, right?
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
So, Lydia, I've got a question. You said something to me really interesting with regards to credit cards. And that is, I came from that school of if let's say you've got a $2,000 purchase on your credit card, I always came from that thought process. You pay that credit card off in full as fast as you can. And you made a really interesting comment to me. You said that actually can hurt, or that actually won't pull your credit score up. You want to pay a percentage. You want to leave a percentage of money on there. Can you speak to that?
Yes. The good thing is this: we need to know so much how to use the credit that we will use it in our favor. So number one, if you're not planning on using a credit, don't care about the score. Just keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
That's good.
If you see that you are ready to make to get a loan or funding, then 2 months before that, then you have to pay everything. However, in the meantime, never pass 30% of utilization. 25 ideal. Let me tell you why. Let's say, oh, I'm going to use it 100% and I'm going to pay back. Yes, it's true, but if you need to use your credit and someone will take a snapshot, of your credit, even though you just paid it, they are not going to see that. I watch my credit and I know. So my credit card is paid in full, but I used half of it because I needed something for my office. But I paid it. Too bad. It wasn't reported. Mm-hmm. So now I know that's it. I'm not passing 25%. So I want to be credit ready any moment because you never know when you need the money. I don't want to have to wait 2 months. So rule number one, no more than 25% ever used. You calculate every single, you want to have a chart, and I teach my clients. All my clients have a homework. Logically they do because I'm a teacher. So they have a homework and they have to put all their revolving accounts, the limit, and the utilization. Because the utilization has to be under 30% in every single one of the cards, not overall. And every person has a favorite card. The red card, use it all the time, and the rest are 0 utilization, but this one has 50. That's going to disqualify you. It's a no-no, okay? So you want to rotate the cards. You want to, ideally, is to divide your bills among all your cards, not to use it for personal like swiping. For that you want to have honestly a small debit card on a small account to control your spending. The rest will come from all these credit cards, keeping in mind the 25% of each one of them. You want to utilize them because if you don't utilize them, you're going to close them. Make sense? And you can pay them off. You can say pay off statement, and that's okay. Okay? Pay off statement, especially when you are actively using your credit. It's okay if you have zero utilization. It's okay. That's not bad. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what happens if, let's say, we took care of the utilization, but our credit age is zero, it's very small? How is it possible that I have a 18 years old card and yet my credit is under 2 years old? You know why? Because you have the 18 and then you have new cards. Every card adds a 0, 0 to the average. So now 18 and 0, now it's 9. I add another one, 18 and 0 and 0, right? That's a 6. And then you add another one. So me trying to improve my credit score, in my case was fine. I was still fine. But imagine someone that has a 10-year and every year they added another card. They would have less than 2 years. My husband was one of them. He has 18 years old cards and he also has 0. So there's a solution always. So the solution is there are 2. One is free, but it depends on people. You can talk to your family, a spouse, a parents, even a friend, to authorize you, so your name, on their cards. But you want to make sure that their credit is spotless and is going to stay that way. Mm-hmm. Those OCD people that they don't want to have any debt, those are very good, okay? So awesome helpers. You don't want, because the whole entire history, all the history from the beginning of that card moves into your credit. That is awesome. All of a sudden you have this 10 years of history. Mm-hmm. And the age. So that's what I did with my husband. I added this, by the way, we didn't have friends and family to do that. So we bought it. Everything is for sale. People with good credit, they sell their authorized user positions. So we bought it, somewhere around $1,000, $22,000 from Chase, 10 years, 2017, I think it was, about 6 years old. That was plenty enough for his age to come to the right number. Okay.
What in the world? So yeah. Lidia, I have my LLC. My credit profile is decent enough or good. Mm-hmm. Where does a guy start? Where does a gal start when is it credit cards? Is it line of credit? Where do you, so many options again. Where do you start when it comes to getting business funding?
So first of all, if the business is less than 2 years old and doesn't have taxes and income, lines of credit are not an option. Okay. Unless are in your personal, like HELOC. Okay. The lines of credit have to have income, either W-2 or business income. So it's easy. Those are out of question. Loans and business line of credit, they are not yet available. However, the best way to start is with business credit cards. 0% interest. So they give you a whole entire year to pay. 0% interest. You do pay 10% with my company or any company out there that will do this work, because it's a lot of work talking to people, following up, finding the right credit unions or banks for you, all of that. So you will pay 10%, but it's a write-off. And also, if you compare, we know about money, right, in real estate. If you compare with anything out there when it comes to lending, or with any credit card out there, or loan for fix and flips or anything, none of them are 10% a year. So no matter what, it is the cheapest way of getting money. You have the responsibility of only paying back every month only 1% not interest, sorry, principal
Mm.
of what you use. So let's say you have a 50K, you max it out, it's totally fine. I want you to know that the biggest advantage of business credit cards is that they are not showing on your personal. You can max it out, there's no utilization, there's
Right.
nothing. Unless you default. If you default, it's going to be moved there. But if no default, never. So there's no, it's not going to affect your credit, none of that. So if you use 50,000, then you will pay the 1% there, 500 bucks every month. And even that money, you can take it back because it's principal, it's not interest.
Mhm.
After a year, guess what? First of all, we have several rounds, not just one, okay? Several rounds during the year, and especially towards the end of the year, um, we can ask for request a transfer, an increase, all of that. We can roll it over another year. Why? Because we want to help you to get that business income proof, so you can move to lines of credit and loans. Okay.
So in theory, I open up a credit card, 0%. I pull out 50K. And that's the 10% charge. You're talking about like liquidating the credit card?
No. We charge 10% for the service of bringing you the credit cards.
Gotcha.
And you
Getting
can
you
use,
your
yeah,
profile.
for the job, yeah, for the service.
Got it.
You can use the exact, this credit card, nothing is paid up front. It's zero.
Mhm.
0. We do all the work, and only if we succeed, we get paid.
Sure.
Okay? So from these credit cards, they're gonna pay the 10%, and the rest, which is 90%, they will use it however they want.
Mhm.
And we can teach you guys how to liquidate the cards too, because there are different ways. And if it's more than 3%, it's expensive. Keep that in mind. You don't want to pay more than 3% to liquidate. There are companies, like for instance, online check writer, they will help you send even a check to the title. Okay? A paper check to the title, an ACH deposit to, let's say, someone that does a job for you, want to pay your GC or somebody, you can pay them ACH deposit using your credit card.
That's
Okay.
brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So Lydia, so I want to get this kind of summarized in my head. And so the people that are watching this, they have a real clear. So if our problem or our hurdle is we're a relatively new business or even an older business that doesn't have established credit,
Yes.
or there are ways to get them capital that they need, whether it be a 0% credit card. If to get there, we can get them the capital they need. What do they need to do first to get there? Pick up the phone and give you a call?
Good question. Yes, or come to one of my Zooms. I want to organize. I organize every single week. I hold a educational webinar. People come and just they hear all of this. Step by step. I have
This
reached.
is on Facebook, Lydia?
I'm gonna post it. I'm not yet there, but I'm working on my website and on a landing page so people know where I am. Right? Register for the Zoom. I'm very faithful to my Zoom, even if it's nobody there. I still show up. So they will first they will hear this information again, and they'll say check. I don't have this. But if they have everything, then they will contact me. I will send them the steps. I need a special credit report that has the information that we're looking. Each credit report is different. They're not the same, right? So we need the one that is the most detailed. If they already have that company as a service for them, good. If not, they pay $1 to get the credit report. I need 24 hours to evaluate their profile, and if it matches everything our credit unions and bank require, then I move them to the next step. I will meet with them on a Zoom. We go over everything, tell them how the process is going to work, and I will connect them with the person of contact, the person that's going to be with them, like the loan officer, right? Is going to be with them for 3 weeks. Usually in 2-3 weeks, they're done.
And Lydia, when is, you said you're religious to your Zoom?
Yes.
What
7,
day and when?
7 p.m. Central Time every Friday. And I'm gonna start creating these small little tiny videos, maybe even 3 minutes, to say 3 minutes about this, 3 minutes about that, just to people don't have time, to watch maybe the whole entire presentation, or they say, where was that? She said something about that, and they don't know 1 minute, right? So because of this, I'm gonna be able to. I want to create something short, so to touch different points. And all I want to say is, there's hope. If you don't have it, make it happen, find it. You know, the
Yeah, one
person,
of the
yeah, the person that inspired me very much, actually, one of my coaches. He was a new dad, no money, and he got into business funding. Now he's a multimillionaire. He helped a lot of people know about this. Another coach from the group, he actually takes turns with his wife and their oldest son. They have a company, and everybody gets funding. And they have several businesses. By the way, with the same credit profile, you can get funded in different businesses with different LLCs. Okay. Sometimes you may have to go to different banks. That's a strategy that the loan officers will usually
Sure.
decide. But it's possible, and they were able to buy subject to properties. I'm not sure, like 20 of them, like in 3 years.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a few.
You have the knowledge. Entry fees like 10%. They had like a few $100,000. Then I have another friend. He's opening a wellness center that cost him like $500,000. We're talking about big money, but their credit is spotless, and there are a lot of things you can add to enhance your credit. So one thing super important. Let's say you have good credit, all of that, but you are very conservative about credit cards, and you only have $20,000 total. Can you get 100,000 or more? You can't. It's going to be equal or maybe 1.5 to 2 the most of what you already have proven that you can manage.
Sure.
You are parents, right? You're not gonna give to your kid $1,000 because he only handles 10 and then 20. So that's the same thing. So if someone wants 100,000, they better have about 75 to 80,000 already in credit cards limit and not used.
That makes sense.
Well, and for those, I can give one personal testimony here is, there was a gentleman that I've been acquaintances with for quite a while in Gator. Great guy. We'll call him Tony.
Right.
He came to me and we were talking about this, what Lidia has to offer, and he said, I need exactly what you're talking about here, but these are my challenges. I don't know if this would work for me. I said, let's pick up the phone. Let's give Lidia a call. It took a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, but I can tell you this: he got some money. This worked really, really well for him, and he sent me a text to thank me for what Lidia was able to do for him. And so I can testify, Lidia, you
And he
know
became
who
my
I'm talking about, and he was very grateful, and so am I too.
what I like, yeah, he needed everything. He was something like in the middle. So I had to help him first optimize his credit. That took about 45 days. That went well, super well. And then we moved into funding. That took 3 weeks. He was funded in 3 weeks. And now we are going to another round of funding with different banks. Okay. So another thing we do, logically, you get hard inquiries when it gets funded. And sometimes, guess what? Sometimes even the banks that we send them the right profile, for some reason they may say no. I don't know why, but it's okay. So he got a couple of no's and 3 or 4 yeses. And now we're going to work on deleting all the hard inquiries, because remember that business credit cards are not on your personal. If you delete an inquiry that is connected to a personal account, they will close your account. Keep that in mind. You cannot delete those because they have a reason. Make sense? If they see that it's deleted, they could close the account. But if it's not in your account, if it's in business, then you can request to delete the account. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Also, they will not even delete if you say delete this inquiry from Bank of America and you just got a card. The bureau say, well, wait a second, that's a legitimate inquiry. No.
Right.
So they give you what you wanted. So we're gonna delete that and go for some more funding. So now he's in the round 2.
Well, Lidia, thank you so much for your time, man. We'll have to have you back on. I so enjoy these conversations with you. You're such a wealth of knowledge. What is your contact information? If people want to get a hold of you, what is your contact information?
I put in the chat. Can anybody see it? 405-702-2432. That's my business number. 405-702-2432. I get back with people very fast. I don't want to wait, and I don't want to make people wait. So even if I say I'll get back with you or something, I will acknowledge them. I don't like when people, you know what I mean. Like, I'm a business person. I know that if they contact me, it's because they need me, and if they need me, I need to help. So.
And if they reach out to me or Dave, we'll get them in touch with you also.
That's awesome. Even better. Yep.
Dave, thank you for the time. It's
always a pleasure.
Dave, what's your contact information?
So my contact information is on the screen. Instagram is @DaveStein29. If you're watching this on video, you can scan the QR code and it has all my other socials and all the links on my link tree. And Lidia, I just want to summarize that one thing that you said that I think is the epitome of Sub2 Gator. Everything that we do is it doesn't have to be you.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be you. And Rick and I have talked about this in our fear podcast of the reason people freeze and don't do anything is they feel like they have to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
There's resources out there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And
Rick,
also another thing that's important, you can use the funds from any of your businesses for any of your businesses. So I can have A, B, C, and I need money in C. I don't need money in A. I can do that because it's my business. I pay taxes and all of them.
Absolutely. Rick, how about you? Why don't you close us out with your contact and shut her down?
My Instagram's up on the screen. Also, I'll just give you my if you want to text me, I'll give you my direct number, 701-260-5394. Again, 701-260-5394. Feel free to give me a call or text. Just to partner off what Dave was saying, we're all in this, together, and we're a community, and one of the great parts about, real estate and the Pace Morby Gator Sub2 community, but I think this goes with other communities, business communities too, is when you develop the relationships that are in there, you can learn from each other, and you can lean on each other and help each other. So oftentimes, if like you said, people get out there and they feel like they're on an island, or they get into some trouble and they think, I don't want anybody to know about this. I got to try to fix this myself. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Reach out. There are people that can take some of that burden off of you and that have probably been through the exact same scenario as you. So it all starts with a conversation. So any way we can help, give us a call. Thank you, Lidia.
Thank you, Lidia.
You're welcome. I can always see you again, guys.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.